Thanks for joining us on this Saturday afternoon where qualifying is about to start here in Austria. So sit back and enjoy the afternoon session. This is going to be an interesting session. Who's going to come out on top in qualifying today? Having spoken to many people in the paddock, no one seems to have an outright winner in mind.
It is certainly difficult to predict. I would say it's advantage Mercedes, but you can never rule anything out. I reckon we are probably looking at 3 or 4 teams who can realistically fight for pole position today.
Hey there guys, it's Tom and welcome back to a brand new video, and this is part number 8 of my F1 2015 career mode as Kimi Raikkonen, and we are here at the Red Bull Ring, and this is round 8 of the championship, and as you can see we're here in qualifying and it is currently raining. It's really early on in the session. I've gone out with about 12 minutes to go, and it's actually starting to rain, so we've had to get out quite early, and we've got to try and get a lap in as soon as possible before the rain starts to get too heavy. And this is a track that I personally really enjoy and I really like driving, so hopefully, fingers crossed, if the weather can hold out for a bit, we can try and deliver a good lap. So here we are, going up the hill into turn number 2, and we're actually 2 tenths up at the minute on Sebastian Vettel, who's in first place now, our teammate. And as we get out of turn 2, we're going to open up the DRS, go down. This is the third of many big straights around this track. As we slow it all down now any second for turn number 3, down to third gear. Actually, I use second briefly, but I normally use third, but because of the wet conditions, I had to use second for a minute there. But go through turn 4, which is basically a corner that doesn't really have to lift, it's completely flat. As we go through turn 5, now you want to run really wide, but don't go into the grass, and then go into turn 6, you want to sacrifice a little bit so you can get a nice exit and get out the power as you go through turn 7, which is flat, and then you want to approach the infamous turn 8 where if you run wide you can get your lap invalidated in real life, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. I keep going well off the track there, but this isn't real life, this is a game, and we're not going to get the lap invalidated. However, we did lose time in my opinion as we did kind of skid off the track, and we are going to come across the line, and there is 4th place and a disappointing qualifying, but due to the conditions there was not much more we could do, and that will probably be our one and only lap this session. So yeah, that's disappointing qualifying, but hopefully in the race things can pick up and we can have a much better result here at the Red Bull Ring.
The crowd loved that qualifying performance by Sebastian Vettel. He made it look easy.
He's certainly going to be leading the charge from the front. And if he can get through the first couple of laps without any issues, he could be difficult to beat based on today's performance.
Welcome to the Austrian Grand Prix here in Spielberg. It's race day and the cars are already on the grid as the drivers complete their final preparations ahead of lights out. I'm really excited to see if Sebastian Vettel can take advantage of being on pole for today's race and go on and claim that win.
There are a lot of variables that can cause a driver to be happy with the car one day to struggling with it the next. Track temperature, excessive tyre wear, or a change of fuel load can all affect the feel of a car. He'll definitely be hoping that when the race gets underway, he's got the same balance as he enjoyed in qualifying.
The last Grand Prix saw Mercedes post their best performance of the year. They had a really strong outing and will be hoping for more of the same today.
Well, they've certainly had their ups and downs so far this season, but the last Grand Prix was a highlight and they need to bring that performance again here today.
It's race day here at the Red Bull Ring, and we're going to gear up to 5 red lights, and we are underway at the Red Bull Ring here. I'm actually going to get a pretty poor start. We're going to get overtaken by Bottas there off the line, and we're down to P7 because we started in P6, and after qualifying we did lose 2 more positions somehow, so some people did manage to improve the lap, but nevertheless here we are in 7th place, and we're going to try and follow the pack in the slipstream as we go up into turn 2. Kvyat is dropping back quite a lot due to the low engine power on the Renault. We're going to go up the inside of him here at turn 2, and we're going to make the move, but he's still going to be alongside us here on our outside. He's going to get much better traction out the corner, but because of our more powerful engine we're going to outpower him down the straight, and going into turn number 3 we're going to be able to get the position back from him there, and we're back up into our starting position of 6th place, and good job there recovering from a poor start, as now we skip later on onto lap number 2, and as you can see we're behind Valtteri Bottas. We're right on his gearbox there, almost hitting the back of him through turn 1, and we're going to see if we can try and overtake him and get up into P5 as we get in the slipstream as we go up the inside of turn number 2. Can we outbrake him? Yes we do. We got the inside, but we're still side by side, but we are going to try and keep the inside and run him out of road, and we do so. We're up into 5th place, and by squeezing him out there we did manage to keep him behind and not get the undercut on us, and now we're going to try and overtake Rosberg and Massa, who are ahead of us, battling for 3rd place for the final podium position as Rosberg goes up the inside of Massa, and we're going to try and capitalise. There's contact there as Massa's forced onto the grass as we go through turn number 4. Can we try and get up the inside of Vettel? What, turn 5? Not Vettel, Rosberg, sorry. at turn 5. No, we can't, and we've got to just wait for this. We're going to have to try and time this move to perfection as we go around the outside of Massa at turn number 6. It's side-by-side stuff here, and what a move that is as we go through turn 7, and we're still in a side-by-side into turn number 8. But who's going to break earliest? It is Massa who's going to break earliest, and we're going to hold it up the inside, and we're going to make it up into 4th place. And that was a brilliant bit of side-by-side action there with Felipe Massa. And then now we're behind Nico Rosberg going on to lap number 3. And can we overtake one of the 2 Mercedes here and get ourselves onto the podium position? Now we're going to go up the inside of turn 1. No, we're not. We're going to go for the dummy, but we're going to think better of it as we go out of turn 1, and we're going to go down this big straight into turn number 2. Can we do the same as Bottas a lap ago and try and go up the inside off the German here? We're going to get a good slipstream. We're going to go to the inside. We're going to brake at the 100-meter board down to 2nd gear. We're going to brake really late up the inside. We're actually going to be forcing in wireless contact there between the 2 of us, which is going to put us back. And a move that I thought we made, we actually outbroke ourselves, and the Rosbergers got back past us, and we're going 3 wide with the 2 Williams, 1 on our left, 1 on our right, and we've lost 2 positions there down the straight, plus the 3rd position from Rosberg who undercut us. So we've lost 3 places there in the space of a straight and pretty much a corner. So all our hard work undone, and we're going to have to overtake these cars who are ahead of us now. And we are expecting rain. As you can see, there are some clouds in the air, especially in the background behind us, and we are expecting heavy rain, the engineer said, in about 10 minutes. So the rain could be coming very soon. And here we are on the back of Mazda. We've got a brilliant run on him. Can we go up the inside? No, we can't. We're back out a bit, and we're going to have to try and wait elsewhere. As the DRS is now enabled, we might be able to get him down the pit straight with the rear flap open as we go across the DRS detection zone, and we open up the DRS going down the pit straight onto lap number 4. Can we overtake Massa? We're going to go and try go up the inside of turn number 1. We do manage to outbrake him, but we run deep. We run really deep into turn 1, and Massa's going to get the run. He's going to get back past us maybe. We're going to try and defend for the time being, but Massa's got a brilliant run on us, as you can see, and here he comes. He's going to go clean around the outside, and we're going to have to try and overtake him elsewhere. And we're going to see now, as we skip on to the end of lap number 4, all of a sudden it's got quite dark, and in just a space of a lap, and it's actually spitting with rain a little bit here. And we're going to go up the inside of Massa at turn number 8 here, make the move into 5th place. But already on lap 4 starting to spit with rain, which isn't a good sign. And so now we skip later on onto lap number 6, I believe this is. Yeah, lap number 6. And we're behind Valtteri Bottas, but we are going to come into the pits for presumably intermediate tyres. We're going to pit a lap earlier than the rest of the cars around us, and we're going to see if we can try and make the jump. The track did feel understeery, but the AR for some reason didn't pit, and we're the only ones pitting this lap, so we're going to try and make the bounce and see if we can try and force other cars' hand by pitting early, as we have a really good 2.3 pit stop there, which is going to allow us to get the upper hand. And there's a massive train of cars going past us here, and we're going to see if we can try and make any inroads into those top 3 positions. As now we come towards the end of lap number 7. As you can see, we've actually caught up to this pack, and everyone's coming into the pits. As you can see, everyone's going really slow, and they're stacking each other up, which is good for us as we come around the final corner. And as you can see, the pit lane is absolutely crowded and mobbed, and it's a good thing we pit a lap earlier, as the inters did feel really nice. And as you can see, we're up into P3 as we go through turn 1, and we've managed to make the jump on 3 cars there. So a brilliant strategic call from myself there, and that has actually got us into the podium positions. And now the race should be really exciting, because we are in a good position at the challenge. And as you can see on lap 10, it's absolutely chucking it down right now, and we're going to have to come into the pits for the extreme wets. The only problem is there's Sebastian Vettel, our teammate, who was catching on the inters, and he's directly in front of us, so we are going to have to stack. We've got no choice. We need to come in this lap for the extreme wets. I probably could have pit a lap ago in hindsight, because it was wet enough a lap ago, and I should have done the same as last time. But I decided to stick it out one more lap, and I actually regret the decision, because obviously we have to stack up a bit. As you can see, we're having a bit of a front wing. We're having a front wing change. We're having a bit more added on. So for these wet conditions, we want a bit more grip at the front. So here we are, rejoining the track, and we're going to rejoin in 4th place, and definitely not what we wanted. We're going to see if we can try and overtake Bottas, who's ahead of us. But really bad strategy call from us, because in hindsight, had I pit a lap earlier, we definitely could have made the overtake stick, and we could have probably got ourselves right up there once again, and maybe even taken 3rd place from our teammate Sebastian Vettel there. So sorry, 2nd place from Sebastian Vettel. But here we are on lap 11, and we lock up both of the front tyres on the cold tyres, and we're actually going to run extremely deep, and Rosberg is going to overtake us in turn 2, and we're going to go down to 5th place once again. And it seems like any hard work that I do to pass him gets undone by a stupid mistake this race, as we skip on to the end of lap 11, onto the start of lap 12, and we've got a brilliant run on Nico Rosberg. Are we going to go up the inside of turn 1 here? We're going to outbrake him. Yes, we are. We're going to go up the inside, and we're going to take that position, and we're going to go back up into 4th place, and that's a good outtake from us in these really, really tricky wet conditions, as Once again, I'm starting to lose my voice already, but Jesus Christ. We're already on lap 13, and we're behind Valtteri Bottas. Can we get up the inside of turn number 3? Yes, we can. We get past him nice and easy, but he does come back at us under braking. But we are going to hold the inside and try and squeeze him out a bit. We're going to force him, and we're going to make the move into 3rd place, and that is good for us. As now we skip onto lap 18, and we've got 2-lap cars. We've got Button and Merry fighting for position. Hopefully they get out of the way quite nicely. Merry does seem to park it right in the middle of the track, and we're going to have to go up the inside and compromise our line through turn 3, but we do get the 2-lap cars out of the way, which is good and no harm done there. As we skip on lap 24, as you can see, Vettel and Hamilton are in the pits, and there is a bunch of cars coming out of us ahead. So we're in the provisional lead at the moment, and we're going to see if we can try and overcut Hamilton and Vettel and try and gain some time. And here we are getting past Maldonado as we go up into turn number 2, and it's absolutely chucking it down at this point. And as we go into turn 2, we're going to lock up both fronts. We're going to hit Daniel Ricciardo, and we've lost our front wing, and we're going to get maybe a penalty for that. Yes, we do. We get a 5-second time penalty, and we go into the back of Ricciardo there, and we lose our front wing. That's been an absolute horror of a lap, and as we come into the pits towards the end of lap 24, we've lost a lot of time here, and we're going to get past any second by Hamilton. We're going to come in for another set of extreme wets, and we're going to go to the end on these presumably, unless the weather changes. But a 5-second time penalty, that might hurt us towards the end of the race, but luckily enough it's not a drive-through, so could have been worse. But nevertheless, here we are in our pit stop getting a front wing change, and as you see, it's still chucking it down here at Austria, and mechanics are putting us on, like I said, new front wing, an 8-second pit stop there, a very long pit stop here at Austria, and that's going to set us back surely down to P4 if not P5, as there goes Rosberg past us, and I think Bottas may be coming soon, or maybe not. No, we're in P4 at the minute, so that's good signs for us. As we skip onto lap 33, and we've gone up into P3 for some reason. We've overtaken Rosberg. Rosberg is magically... There's Rosberg on the side. He's just vanished. Rosberg is similar to what Hamilton had at Catalonia. He's vanished, and we're going to see what happened to Rosberg in the replay here, because I was curious after what happened at Catalonia. And we're on board with him here. As you see, he's going down, going to turn 2, and all of a sudden you can hear he has a loss in power. And he seems to just pull over. He has a massive loss in power, and there's a massive cloud of smoke there. So he must have had some kind of engine fault or problem, and he's had to retire from the race. So that's going to put us into P3 for the time being. And resuming onto the action, and we're behind Marcus Ericsson, who leaves the door open for us, and we're going to go up the inside. And we're going to go up the inside here, and we're actually going to accidentally squeeze him, and we're going to lose the rear end into the wall. And this is going to actually really dampen our race, because as you'll see now, Bottas actually gets past us. And I will admit it was probably my fault. I did maybe squeeze Ericsson out, but I was expecting him, due to blue flags, to back out. And as you can see now, lap 34, Massa's on the back of us, and he's going to go up the inside here at turn number 6, I believe. And what an overtake that is from Massa out of nowhere. He just went for the dive bomb, and he's made it stick. So a brilliant move from him with 2 laps to go. But as we come on to the final lap of the race now, Hamilton's going to win the race. Vettel is in second, and then Bottas runs off the podium with Massa ahead of us, and we're going to come home in 5th place. And this is going to be a very disappointing 5th place, considering what could have been had we not done so many mistakes. But overall, 5th place is very disappointing, and we was expecting a lot more of this race, and I think Ferrari were disappointed there with them points.
No one could compete with the Mercedes today as they take home another race win.
It really was a wonderful performance, and one that the team will be celebrating for some time to come.
That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye and see you again next time.
So here we have it then, official confirmation of the results, and luckily enough that 5-second time penalty did not affect my race result at all, as Nasser, who was in 6th, very impressive 6th place, was quite far behind. So 5th place for us this race, and overall, like I said, very disappointing. Rosberg there last, the only guy to DNF this race, so it must have been some kind of engine failure, and maybe some errors or something went offline, but he must have had some kind of problem with the car. And Lewis Hamilton takes the full 25 for Mercedes this race, with Vettel in second. So not the best race, similar to Monaco. A lot of things went wrong, so we're going to have to try and see if we can improve. Vettel is now 5 points clear in the championship, and Hamilton is only 11 points behind us now, so Hamilton is really breathing down our neck now. And Rosberg, even though he's 40 points behind, he's still in it. And Bottas is also there, starting the game with 64 points, only behind Vettel there, and he's only 20 yards behind Rosberg. So Bottas is also bringing himself back into contention. And we do stand at top of the table in the constructors. Lucky enough, Mercedes are still 46 points behind. But nevertheless, guys, if you enjoyed this episode, please give a like. And if you're new around here, please subscribe down below for more daily uploads. And I'll see you guys next time in my next career mode video. So from me, goodbye.